Hi. So, first things first, elephant in the room. I'm sorry for disappearing all of a sudden. I got a job. I'm like an adult now. I have kids. Like 1,000 kids even, maybe. But I digress. I got super jazzed to make a new video because of an insanely cool match that I played in a cool little alt format called Disco Inferno. Basically, Disco Inferno is a format where the only legal cards are at or below 50 US cents in price, which makes it pretty similar to common charity in a lot of regards, but there are some very interesting differences. The format also rotates pretty frequently and has asynchronous tournaments running pretty much all the time, which I think is really cool. Luckily, you are allowed to switch deck lists at any time during the tournament because round 1, I showed up with this abomination of a Lunar Kaiju build because I want so desperately to make this deck work in any format that I can. But long story short, I got absolutely smoked by Lunar Light OTK, so I decided to switch it up. And this is what I decided to switch to. I guess you could call it Ninja, but I prefer to call it Hanzo Control, since he's the only ninja we're actually playing. Now, for the card by card, we have 3 Hanzo, obviously, and 1 Roto to find him. 2 Art of Alchemy, mostly to clean up stray ninjutsu arts and plus off of them. 2 Super Transformation, this card is basically a searchable super poly, and we have some very spicy targets for it. Then 1 Mirage Transformation. This card is surprisingly useful. It reborns from your opponent's grave by tributing a ninja, which you can use sort of like a DD Crow effect, as well as you can use it to take a boss monster that you've already dealt with. Then we've got 1 Grand Tusk Dragon, which is a super transformation target, and also pops 2/1 summon, which means its super transformation is effectively 3 removal spells, which I think is pretty nice. Then we've got 3 Mamilio, mostly as another normal summon that searches more back row, as well as 3 Bottomless, 2 Trap Hole Nightmares, and 2 Floodgate to search off of it. Floodgate Trap Hole is probably my favorite trap card in the entire game. It's like a permanent Book of Moon, and it's searchable thanks to Mamilio. I love this card. We also have 1 Cellar Glare. This is an alternate target for Super Transformation for when your opponent doesn't have a level 4 or higher monster for you to go into Grand Tusk off of. But it's also pretty useful even if you draw into it, since you can normal summon it, then bounce it to Mind Control for a turn, which is pretty cool disruption. 3 Duality in this deck is a given, since it barely ever special summons, on your turn at least, and it also lets you dig for whatever you need. Dark Hole is a pretty common staple in Disco Inferno, and we're playing 3 since we're very light on monsters, so most of the time we'll plus off of it, which is why we're also playing 3 Torrential. 3 Strike and 3 Warning. We're playing a trap deck, so of course we're playing these, and we're not on Judgment because it's priced out of the format. To cap off our list, we're on 2 Dynamicious and 2 Compulse. They're both pretty useful in different circumstances, and Duality obviously helps us find whichever one we need in the circumstances. The extra deck here is extremely variable. It honestly doesn't matter what we put in here because we basically never go into it, but it's basically a rank 4 toolbox. In our side, we've got some Kaiju, some back row removal, 2 Book of Moon because I wasn't sure what else to put there, and 3 Mirror Force because I think it would be very funny to resolve Mirror Force. Moving on to the replays, I will just let them speak for themselves, but I was playing against Eva, and she was on this extremely sick Melfi deck. She's also playing a Pendulum package in it, which I think is really cool. I'll leave you alone with the gameplay for now, but please check Disco format out. It's really cool.